Kenny Caraway in the building for the handoff. Kenny, I don't know if you saw it, but reporting now says that the Mavericks are acquiring Klay Thompson, although there's differing reports on whether the sign-and trade has been agreed to or not on the Warriors side. But we've been talking a lot about the West today because there's only, like, we know the Kings are in pursuit of Brandon Ingram, and we know about Kyle Kuzma, and then Lauri Markkanen might now be in the mix. So it's just kind of a waiting game on that. Let's actually start with the Kings. I'm optimistic that they're going to get a significant deal done for one of those three guys.
Absolutely.
Are you in that boat as well?
Absolutely. I'm a big believer, and I talked about it on Friday. Talked about it with you on Friday. That draft pick of Devin Carter. First of all, what's up, James? Welcome back.
What's up, man?
that draft pick of Devin Carter. I don't want to say, like, I've been talking about. I don't want to be like, oh, they just got like these deals just lined up in their back pocket. I don't know if it's that simplistic, but they drafted Devin Carter. No one they're moving on from Davion Mitchell. No one they're moving on from Kevin Huerter. And they have deals lined up on the table that they're trying to figure out what they want to do. And there was a Jake Fisher reported on Friday, James, and we talked about it a little bit. There was wording in there that kind of sparked my interest. And he said something about, in this tweet, he said, the Kings are trying to decide something to the effect of they're trying to decide what path they want to go down. And that told me they have options, like whatever one they choose. Say there's three paths they want to go down. They're there for them. Whether that's Kuzma, Ingram, and Levine, and they're trying to figure out which one they want to go down. But it's not, oh, we're hoping to get so-and-so. I don't want to say deals are done. Once again, I don't want to say that. But it's there for them. Whatever path they want to go down, it's there for them, and they're trying to figure out the cost of those different paths, the plus minuses of those different paths, and they're trying to figure out what they want to do. One of them might involve giving up somebody that they really like, but that's the best player on their list. You know, like if it's just throwing out a name, if it's Ingram and you have to give up Keegan Murray,
you're still trying to trade Keegan. That's crazy. Still trying to trade Keegan. Unbelievable, this guy. Unbelievable, this guy.
But they may say Ingram is their best.
Would you do that?
Best option. I would think about it only if I had.
I don't want to do the bit where you're trying to trade Keegan. I don't.
Yeah.
But this is a very real thing.
If you got a wink promise from Brandon Ingram, I would think about it. I still don't know if I would do it. But I would think about it.
Would you, James?
I wouldn't. Like at this point,
even if you had a crystal ball and knew he's re-signing.
Okay, but that's impossible to know. And the fact that you have Keegan Murray, well, I get you, but you have Keegan Murray under control for another 2 years at a basement price, and then even his next price caps out at what Brandon Ingram is capping out right now, not what Brandon Ingram will cap out at. And so you're losing so many years of service and all that stuff.
Sure.
And look, Brandon Ingram, I haven't looked, but I'm guessing he's only 2 years older than Keegan Murray.
Yeah, Brandon Ingram's 20,
is that right?
Yeah, he's like 26.
He's 26, and Lauri Markkanen is 27, and Keegan Murray he wasn't a young rookie, and Keegan Murray is 23, will turn 24 in August. So you're talking about
wild.
But my point is though that you have that whole second contract of Keegan, where he will be under contract all through the years that we're talking about with when it comes to Ingram. So, I mean, that's just so much different. Ingram came into the league. He's been in the league 8 years, and he's 26 years old.
Insane.
That is crazy.
Somebody, where did it go? Chef Monty in the chat. I agree with them on this. I'm not putting Keegan in that deal because I don't think you get significantly better with Brandon Ingram, and then you're dealing Keegan and whatever else.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You got to have both.
I agree with you.
I
think Brandon Ingram's a better player than Keegan Murray for sure, but I don't think it gets you to the stratosphere that you need to go to give up that kind of player.
I don't know. So this is what we always talk about with Brandon Ingram. My thought of Brandon Ingram doesn't necessarily match the exact production, right? Like I look at Brandon Ingram as one of them dudes, right? Like he's one of them dudes.
Yeah.
And then you look at his basketball reference or whatever, and he averaged like 20 points per game, for his
it's like
career.
he's nice.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah.
I think in that hypothetical situation, I try to do everything in my power to keep Keegan Murray here. But one of the things that if they're like, nope, it's a deal breaker, and say Kuzma's deal is gone, all these other deals that you had are gone by the wayside now, and this is your opportunity to get better in the offseason. You ask yourself, who's the better player? Who's the better player? You come away with the better player. I understand the contracts, and I agree with you, but who's better, Keegan or Brandon Ingram? Brandon Ingram, regardless of what we feel about Brandon, he's a two-time All-Star. Is Keegan Murray going to be a two-time All-Star?
I think you have to take money into account.
Okay, so here's a broader question. Let's just take Keegan off the table. Let's just take
yes, it's making me uncomfortable.
Yeah. Okay, so
I love Keegan Murray.
Let's
and
just
I don't
say
think he'd be on the table realistically anyway. So
you have 3 deals on the table, and Brandon Ingram, Lauri Markkanen, and Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah,
where would you go, knowing that the cost of Kuzma is going to be less, and he's under contract for 3 years,
and the cost in a trade?
Yeah, it's going to be less, knowing that the other 2 are more injury prone, but throw all that out the window. If you can add one of those to your core of 4, which one would it be?
I'd probably go Kyle Kuzma, all things considered.
I would too.
Although I believe Brandon Ingram is the best player of all 3 of those guys.
You think he's better than Lauri Markkanen?
Yeah.
See, I think the fit of Lauri Markkanen is intriguing next to Sabonis. Another 7-footer that can stretch the floor, but they can do a whole lot of other stuff.
He's the truth. He's the truth. He fits great in Sacramento. The reason why I look at Brandon Ingram as being the best is he's the one that is less reliant on the people around him.
Yeah.
He can go get you. He can lead a team. We've seen him do it. He was the best player on that Pelicans team that pushed Phoenix to 6 games when Willie Green was crying that time. Zion was gone. It was Ingram's team. CJ McCollum wasn't even there.
Yeah.
It was Ingram's team, and he was a problem. He got them through the play-in. He got them 2 wins in that first round series. He was a problem. He's the best player, but the other things are a factor, like what you talk about. Markkanen might be the best fit. Kuzma might be the best. Like, he may cost you the least. So
he's going to cost you the least not only today, but through the next 3 years.
Right. If the Kuzma deal is Herter and Duarte in a first, where now all of a sudden you're keeping Harrison Barnes, and now you have Harrison Barnes coming off the bench in a smaller role. Like, I think that makes you better than whatever you're dealing for Brandon Ingram. Plus, it's less expensive. It gives you additional flexibility down the line. It gives you additional flexibility with what picks you have to trade down the line. Like, that to me, like, is the move. But I understand why the Kings would explore all possible options to try and get Brandon Ingram here or Lauri Markkanen.
James, because I know me and Kyle talked about it real quick. But, do you think what I think is accurate, that Monty has different avenues that he can go down? He's got trades on the table, and he's trying to figure out which one is best for this team and this franchise?
I think that's very possible. But I also think that he's not playing. I'm pretty sure he's not playing in a world where Keegan Murray is part of the conversation.
I don't think he is either. I don't think he is.
So.
Especially if you have options, right? Like if New Orleans is saying we want Keegan Murray in the deal, I can just go start talking to Washington. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to do that. You know what I mean? I can start hammering out a deal with the Washington Wizards, or I could see, what Utah's talking about. And the one that's in the back pocket is always Zach LaVine. He's always in the back because nobody else wants him. If you feel like you have to make a move, I'm just saying he's in the back pocket.
If no other team in the league is making that move, then you shouldn't either.
They make stupid decisions.
It feels like because the Kyle Kuzma deal got reported so heavily leading up to the 13th pick, and then we've heard nothing since. That to me makes it feel like there's a deal on the table. The Kings know they can go back to it. There's not a ton out there for Kuzma on the trade market, and the Kings are now exploring some other stuff.
I kind of got the opinion that day that when they traded Denny Avdija, that the price went up, and the Kings are like,
price of the pick going up. What do you got coming up on D'Lo and Casey?
Giants Dodgers this weekend was
huge series. It was big time. Tyler Fitzgerald was great.
It's NBA.
Yeah. Got that coming up for you on D'Lo and Casey. That's James Ham back in the building. I'm Kyle Madsen. We're sponsored by Jiffy Lube. A big shout out to them. We will be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Until then, D'Lo and Casey have got you. Drink water and be nice to people.